Hi, this is Rebecca Fagan from the Fagan Method, and I want to talk to you about learning and unlearning. Why would you have to unlearn anything? What if the stuff that you started out knowing from the deepest part of your soul turned out to be incorrect? Well, you'd have to unlearn the stuff that you knew before. Now, there are a lot of things that we take for granted, understanding that when we are standing on the ground, the world is turning. Well, we don't feel that. So we have to unlearn the fact that the world is turning. That doesn't seem strange to us at this point because we've grown up with that. The world is a ball. We've seen pictures of it in space. We know that as the sun gets closer to us and goes away from us, it's not actually the sun moving, it's us moving in, moving out, because our orbit is elliptical instead of circular. All of these things we've had to replace in our thoughts. When you learn something brand new, there's a chance that 40% of whatever you've heard, whatever you've experienced, what smelled, felt, taste, anything that you've picked up that was brand new is gone within mere weeks, completely gone. And in fact, you may lose 40% of what you have acquired as new information in just the first hour. How do you keep it in there once you've got it in there? Well, part of that has to do with making use of how you keep the information fresh. And that also has to do with how you process it once it gets in there. Some of the things that you have to do, you analyze it, compare it to the stuff that you know, compare it and see if there's something that you are unfamiliar with. Might be vocabulary, might be a certain physical movement that you have to do that you've never had to do before. It could be a smell, could be a taste. Have you ever tried these two things together? Ketchup on sauerkraut? No. Would you? You might. But since it's new, you don't know what to expect. What happens then is it goes into your conscious mind and then it trickles into your subconscious, and your subconscious has to accept it because that's what it does. But your conscious mind will look at it and say, I don't think that's right. Nah, I don't need to know that, and throw it right out. Your subconscious is saying, okay, well, we'll put it back in the back room. Maybe we can refer to that later. The only time that comes back into mind is if you need it. And if you have processed it correctly, you've analyzed it, you've seen that what they're saying is absolutely true. But your subconscious knows, wait a minute. With the first time I saw this new information, we had this emotion that was stuck on it like, this is not true. This is not interesting. This is not necessary. This is not anything I want to keep in my head. And we put it back in there. And now you're telling me that it's important, that I have to know it, that I have to use it? I don't know about this. What if it's dangerous? What if it's different than the stuff that's already in there? I mean, we've been going along all of this time to make sure that everything is exactly what it needs to be. And now you're telling me it's different? So, yes, this subconscious mind panics and it protects you from this evil new information. Even though we have come to the conclusion that maybe this information is more valuable than the stuff that we've been holding on to. We have to break through a terror barrier that is erected by our subconscious to protect us. When does this ever happen? Well, the first time you drive. Is there terror there? Oh, yes, there's terror. But then you realize, oh, I get freedom. I can move where I want. I can go to the store. I can get fast food. I can go to a movie. I can drive across the United States. I can drive across Canada, avoiding the forest, of course. But until you come to that conclusion that the stuff that is coming in is more important than the stuff that you're afraid of, it doesn't stick. Have you ever seen it, this terror barrier, when you're learning to ice skate? How about when you start into advanced math? There's some terror for you. What about when you have to stand up in front of people and talk? There's plenty of terror there. You know that most people would rather be in the box than talking about the deceased? Yeah. So, how do we get rid of the terror? This is something that we're going to talk about in our webinar on July 26th. I have 2 sessions available. There's one at 9 o'clock and there's one at 5 o'clock. So it depends on where you are in your day. You can sign up for one of those. You can reach this at thefaganmethod.com and go to the events, and you will see it there. And you can register right there, and I will see you on Wednesday. Thanks. Bye.